Subscribe to our YouTube channel and press the bell icon to get the latest updates.
Now on Monday, the central government introduced the Constitution 127th Amendment Bill 2021, more popularly known as the OBC Bill. And this bill basically intends to undo the effect of the Supreme Court's judgment in the Maratha quota case. So in this episode of KYC or Know Your Constitution, I'll explain to you what this amendment says and why it is attempting to overturn the Supreme Court's interpretation of another constitutional amendment. Now this bill basically comes after the Supreme Court's interpretation of the 102nd constitutional amendment which was done in the Maratha quota verdict. The interpretation came in the Maratha quota verdict, and in this judgment, in short, the Supreme Court ruled that states cannot identify and specify socially and educationally backward classes, that is SEBCs or OBCs. So this proposed amendment now wants to give this power back to the states. Now let me tell you a bit about the 102nd constitutional amendment. It basically added articles 338B and 342A of the constitution. It gave constitutional status to the National Commission for Backward Classes. Article 338B deals with the structure, duties and powers of the commission, and Article 342A gives the President the power to notify a class as SEBC and the power of Parliament to alter the central SEBC list, the central OBC list. Now the majority verdict in the Maratha quota verdict ruled that states in fact do not have the power to identify OBCs anymore after the 102nd amendment, and this is especially interesting. Why? Because during this hearing, when Attorney General K.K. Venugopal appeared for the central government, he actually submitted that the intention of this 102nd amendment was not to take away the state's powers. He argued that the state government will have their separate OBC list for providing reservations in state government jobs and education, whereas Parliament will only make the central list of SEBCs, which would apply exclusively for central government jobs without affecting the state government jobs. So here there was a center saying that the Parliament did not intend to take away the powers of the state governments when it comes to these OBC lists with this constitutional amendment, but the majority verdict did not agree with this. So what the court did was virtually to replicate the constitutional model that is followed currently for scheduled castes and scheduled tribes. So let me explain. For SC and ST quotas, the President notifies these communities in a single list annexed to the Constitution, and the powers to amend it are vested with the Parliament. The court then said that after the 102nd amendment, there will only now be one list of SEBCs as well, as similar to SCs and STs, which may be issued by the President, but it clarified that other powers with regard to the extent of reservations, the kind of benefits, scholarships, number of schools which will provide these reservations, or any other welfare schemes under the Constitution would still stay with the state governments. So as per the judgment, the President basically is to notify the SEBC or the OBC list for various states and union territories after consulting with the commission set up under Article 338B. Like I mentioned before, there won't be two lists. There won't be one state and central list separately like earlier for states and union territories, and then the state governments can fine-tune the benefits, the extent of reservations for these OBCs. The central government also filed a review petition against this interpretation by the Supreme Court, but the petition was rejected last month, making the judgment final. And that is why this amendment that was introduced on Monday proposes to amend Article 342A to specifically state that the power of the President to specify the SEBC classes, the OBCs in the central list, is for the purpose of the central government. This is of course in line with the argument that the Attorney General made in the Maratha quota case, that the President's power is only to specify SEBCs for the purpose of the central list, like I mentioned earlier. The amendment also proposes to add clause 3 to Article 342A, clarifying that states and union territories will have the power to identify and specify OBCs, SEBCs for their own purposes, and this list will be different from this central list. So this bill is now effectively the Parliament's final attempt to reverse the Supreme Court judgment to undo it, and this has happened before as well. The Parliament has done this before. The biggest example of this came with the Shah Bano case, in which the Supreme Court declared that Section 125 of the Code of Criminal Procedure, which deals with maintenance, applies to all citizens irrespective of religion. But after this judgment, the issue was highly politicized, with then Prime Minister Rajiv Gandhi finally overturning the effect of this decision by passing the Muslim Women Protection on Divorce Act 1986, which basically then restricted maintenance to Muslim women to the iddat period only, which is a period that Muslim women have to observe after dissolution of marriage, during which she can't remarry. So this is another one of those examples, this constitutional amendment, where the Parliament is trying to now again overturn a Supreme Court judgment. That's all I have for you now. This is Apurva Mandhani for The Print. Do subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on social media.